Hi, everyone. I'm Anna Tristan, an interior designer, and I want to share how my dream kitchen, the culmination of years of hard work, unexpectedly turned into a source of family drama. After 6 years of saving every penny and working overtime, my husband Mark and I finally bought our dream home. It wasn't perfect, it needed a lot of work. But to us, it was everything. Finally, our daughter Emma could have a backyard to play in, and I could unleash my creativity as a designer. Babe, I know it's over budget, but these Italian marble countertops will make the kitchen, I told Mark during the renovation. He smiled, always trusting me, and said, "You're the expert. If you say it's worth it, I believe you." The kitchen became my pride and joy. Custom maple cabinets, professional-grade appliances, and a spacious island where the whole family could gather. It wasn't just a kitchen, it was my masterpiece. And for a while, it was perfect. Emma and I baked cookies every weekend, her little face covered in flour as she said, "Mommy, I love how big the counters are." But then the visits started. Mark's mother, Barbara, began dropping by unannounced, always around dinner time. "Oh, Hannah dear, these countertops must have cost a fortune. I hope Mark isn't working himself to death to pay for all this luxury," she'd say with a smile that never quite reached her eyes. Soon, Mark's sister Sarah, fresh from her divorce, started showing up too. She'd sit at the island, running her hands over the marble. "This kitchen is amazing, Anna," she'd sigh dramatically. "After everything I've been through, I can only dream of having something like this." Her visits became more frequent and more intrusive. One Tuesday evening, as I prepped dinner, Sarah showed up with her kids unannounced. "Mom, Aunt Sarah's here," Emma called out excitedly. The door was unlocked. "I hope you don't mind," Sarah said breezily, walking in like she owned the place. "I just had to show my realtor friend your kitchen." She couldn't believe it when I described it. "Your realtor friend?" I asked, trying to keep my voice calm. "Oh, just getting some professional opinions. This layout is exactly what I've been looking for." I caught her taking photos when she thought I wasn't looking. The knot in my stomach tightened. That night, I overheard her on the phone in our driveway. "Mom, you should see how perfect it is. I know they worked hard for it, but after everything I've been through, don't I deserve something nice too?" When I told Mark, he dismissed it. "You're overthinking, Anna. They're just admiring your work." But something felt off. Barbara's lingering stares, Sarah's comments, it wasn't admiration. It was envy. Sunday dinner was the final straw. "A fresh start is exactly what Sarah needs right now," Barbara announced casually, "and your house would be perfect for her." I choked on my wine. "Excuse me?" "Mom, we've talked about this. We're not selling," Mark said firmly, but I noticed he avoided eye contact with Sarah. Barbara waved him off. "Oh, come on, Mark. Anna's expensive tastes must be bleeding you dry. Those marble countertops alone probably cost more than Sarah's first car." "Actually, I got them at a designer discount," I said, trying to keep my cool. "Designer discount or not, I heard some hefty withdrawals have been made lately," Barbara added smugly. "Small town, sweetie. People talk." I froze. Was she talking to bank tellers about our finances? That evening my cousin Amy called. "Anna, is everything okay? Barbara was at bridge club saying Mark's working 2 jobs to cover your spending." "What?" I nearly dropped the phone. "That's not true. Where is she getting this?" The next day, Sarah showed up unannounced again. "Madison, Tyler," she called to her kids. "Go help yourselves to anything in the kitchen. Anna always keeps it stocked." "The good snacks? This isn't a convenience store, Sarah," I said through gritted teeth, watching her kids raid my pantry like it was their personal treasure trove. "Family helps family, right?" she replied, unfazed. "Speaking of which, I had my realtor draw up an offer. It's below market value, but considering my situation, we're not selling. Period." I cut her off, my voice sharp. "Don't be selfish, Anna. You can just design another kitchen somewhere else." I was still seething when Thursday's family dinner delivered the ultimate bombshell. Barbara stood up, tapping her winey glass with a spoon like she was announcing an engagement. "I have wonderful news," she exclaimed, beaming. "Sarah and the kids will be staying here while their rental gets fumigated." My fork clattered onto my plate. "Absolutely not. It's just for a few weeks," Sarah chimed in, clearly delighted. "The kids already picked their rooms." "You did what?" My voice trembled with anger. Mark finally found his voice. Mom, Sarah, you can't just decide these things without asking us. Oh, honey, Barbara said, feigning hurt. I knew Anna would overreact. This is why everyone says she's so materialistic. Heaven forbid she share her precious kitchen. Get out, I whispered, my voice shaking. Then louder, get out of my house. Barbara dabbed her eyes with a napkin, playing the victim. See how she treats family, Mark? Your sister needs help and your wife only thinks about herself. That night, Mark and I had our first real fight about his family. Maybe we could help them out for just a few weeks, he suggested hesitantly. Are you serious? They're manipulating you. Can't you see that? They're still my family, Anna. And what am I? The evil wife who won't share. They're spreading rumors about us. At the bank, at the bridge club, they're trying to force us out of our own home. You're being paranoid. No, I'm being smart. This isn't about helping Sarah. This is about taking what's ours. I stormed upstairs, slamming the bedroom door behind me. My mind raced. I needed proof, something concrete to show Mark what his mother and sister were really up to. The next morning, as I rifled through my jewelry box, my heart sank. What do you mean my tennis bracelet is missing? I muttered to myself. Worse, our house documents had vanished too. After a sleepless night, I called Linda, a private investigator a colleague had recommended. The retainer fee is steep, Linda warned during our coffee meeting. I don't care, I said. Something's not right, and I need to know what it is. 2 weeks later, Linda called. You better sit down for this, she said. Remember Sarah's sob story about her ex-husband David being a controlling jerk? Yeah, I said cautiously. Well, turns out it's the other way around. She was embezzling thousands from their business accounts. David agreed to a quiet divorce in exchange for dropping the charges. I felt sick. There's more, Linda continued. Your mother-in-law and sister-in-law have a history. Remember Aunt Patricia's house? The one Sarah lived in briefly before it was sold. Mark said Patricia wanted to help Sarah get back on her feet. Patricia didn't do anything. Barbara, acting as her power of attorney, forced the sale while Patricia was in the hospital. The money disappeared into Barbara's accounts. I gripped the edge of the table, trying to steady myself. They've done this before. 3 other family members, Linda confirmed, same pattern. Sarah plays the victim, Barbara manipulates the situation, and properties get sold under market value. That evening, I discovered the missing documents in Sarah's forgotten purse. Just helping organize, she claimed, but her face paled when a small jewelry bag fell out. Organizing what exactly? My jewelry? I asked, holding up the bag. Don't be ridiculous. That's mine. Funny, I said, opening the bag. It has my initials engraved on it. Care to explain? She fled, but not before I snapped photos of everything. Later, I confronted Barbara alone. I know about Aunt Patricia's house, I said coldly. I have no idea what you're talking about, she replied, but the flicker of panic in her eyes gave her away. The power of attorney. The missing money. Ring any bells? You're delusional, she snapped. No one will believe you over family. David might, I said. I hear he's still interested in those missing company funds. For the first time, real fear flashed across her face. That night, I laid everything out for Mark. The documents, the photos, Linda's report. I don't want to believe this, he whispered, staring at the evidence. They were planning this before Sarah's divorce. They targeted us, our home, just like they did to Patricia and the others. But we need to be smart about this, Mark said, his voice steady. I trust you, Jess, and I'm so sorry I didn't believe you sooner. As we stayed up late strategizing, something became clear. This wasn't just about protecting our home anymore. It was about justice, not just for us, but for Patricia and everyone else they'd hurt. And I knew exactly how to ensure they never did this to another family again. 3 weeks later, we sat at the kitchen island, the one they tried so hard to steal, watching the aftermath unfold. Social media notifications, pinged, and family gossip filled our phones. Did you see Barbara's Facebook post? I asked Mark, showing him my screen. She's taking a sabbatical to focus on herself. Basically, she's running away to Florida. Mark smirked. After what James found about Patricia's will? Not surprising. The family group chat is on fire. My phone buzzed again, a text from Linda. Sarah just got served. Embezzlement charges and custody papers. David's lawyer says it's airtight. Mom, Is Aunt Sarah going to jail? Emma asked, wandering in with her breakfast bowl. No, sweetie, I said, kneeling beside her. But she might have to make up for some of the mistakes she's made. The doorbell rang. Standing there was Barbara, looking desperate. Please, he begged. You have to help Sarah. She can't lose the kids. We're family. Mark stepped forward, his voice calm but firm. Family? Family doesn't steal. Family doesn't manipulate. Family doesn't try to force people out of their homes. I was only trying to... To what, Mom? Mark interrupted. Steal another house? Like you did to Aunt Patricia. That was different, Barbara snapped, her tone defensive. Get out, Mark said quietly, and don't contact us again. Later that evening, Amy called with updates. Sarah's kids are staying with David now, she said. She's facing serious charges, and no one in the family is willing to help her. Oh, and Barbara's been kicked out of her bridge club. Apparently, stealing from your elderly aunt doesn't sit well with polite society. Months passed. My design business thrived. Turns out, showcasing my dream kitchen attracted high-end clients. Mark got promoted, and Emma's grades improved now that the house was free of toxic drama. One evening, while I was prepping dinner, Mark wrapped his arms around me from behind. Thank you, he said softly, for fighting for us, for seeing what I couldn't. We fought together, I replied, leaning into him. That's what real family does. Cookie time, Emma called, skipping into the kitchen with a smile. As I watched my husband and daughter laugh together, surrounded by the kitchen I poured my heart into, I realized we gained something far more valuable than just keeping our home. We'd found our strength, our truth, our peace. No toxic family members required. What about you? Would you have exposed Sarah and Barbara's schemes right away or waited to gather more evidence like I did? Sometimes staying quiet reveals people's true colors, but it can also mean enduring more pain. Drop your thoughts below.